after some deep research by companies that actually watch housing, it turns out that Arkansas is one of the most affordable states and fastest states to actually save for a home in America. So today we're covering how does Arkansas actually make it so affordable to own in the state, plus people that are moving here, maybe people like you, how does it actually benefit your wallet when it comes to owning a home in Arkansas? So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the no good state of Illinois, the worst. Anyways, I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. I could have moved to Asheville, I could have moved to Utah, I could have moved to Colorado, I could have moved to Texas, I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. But I chose Northwest Arkansas, and it is by far the best place to live in America, literally by far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America, call me, email me, whatever it is. We can meet up for coffee and talk about, again, why I chose Northwest Arkansas, again, anywhere else in America. Side note, if you are looking to reload to Northwest Arkansas, again, let me know right away. I help so many people every single year move from one state to Northwest Arkansas. My biggest vision, again, is helping as many people move here as possible to, again, the #1 place to live in America. All right, and the first we need to cover, and this is probably the biggest thing that I noticed when I moved from Illinois, the dumpster fire, to Arkansas, and this is just something that is on repeat over and over and over again from anyone who's moved from, let's say, a more, tax-heavy state, is the fact that Arkansas and Benton County, Washington County, and other counties in Arkansas are able to keep the actual property tax pretty low when it comes to the actual state itself. Now, the interesting thing that makes Arkansas a little bit more, especially Northwest Arkansas, a little bit more special than other parts of Arkansas and certainly other parts of America is the fact that we have a low tax base when it comes to, like, obviously money. We don't pay a lot of money for taxes, like property taxes in Arkansas, but we do have these advantages from large corporations, from other entities, from other means of income, tourism, to actually push really cool projects in the area itself. Because in some ways it's like, okay, you are not taxed very heavy. Where does the tax revenue come from? Two different things. Obviously, we have other tax revenue sources from inside of Arkansas in general, but one of the perks of living in Arkansas is that it's a very lean run state. Not a lot of, let's say, overhead when it comes to things happening in the state itself. Another very interesting thing that I found when it came from Illinois to moving here is we are not a very union heavy state ever. So one thing that was interesting to me is that, let's say for instance in Illinois, you wanted to build a road in Illinois, great. Let's say for instance, it rained for 3 days out of the week, you're not able to work because of rain or whatever, or it's too cold or too hot or whatever in Illinois. And so you're thinking, I'm gonna work at night, I'm gonna do things at night because it's cooler, etc. It's not raining. But the problem that you run into in Illinois is that you're on double time when you're in Illinois. So a lot of people don't get things done in Illinois because they don't wanna pay the union wages to get things done. Here in Arkansas, a little bit different. If it's too hot or if it rains or whatever the case is, they're willing to work anytime in Arkansas, whether it's on weekends or whether it's at night or whatever the case is. Projects gets done, budgets are maintained essentially, and you can just move along the puck down the field faster, which obviously greatly decreases the need for high tax revenue in comparison to other parts of America. So that's one different thing. Not that that's gonna be a huge thing, but it's definitely a mentality that Arkansas has when it comes to tax revenue. The other side of it is the fact that we have a pretty low, I would consider, income state tax revenue. It's not the lowest, certainly not the lowest. It actually used to be one of the highest, but over the last decade, it's actually been reduced significantly. So that is one major thing, is that between our income state taxable thing plus our actual property tax, it makes it a little bit, it's certainly a lot more digestible moving from California, Nevada, Arkansas, or, Arizona, Illinois, other parts of America to Arkansas, because when it comes to the tax bills, it's like, oh, way better than where I came from. And the second reason why Arkansas is able to basically buy a house so much faster in Arkansas than other parts of America is because of the red tape that's being cut and then has been cut, especially in Northwest Arkansas. I can't always speak to other parts of Arkansas, whether it's like Little Rock or Mountain Home or other places, because they have their own stuff going on over there. But at least in Northwest Arkansas, the red tape that has been there for the last couple of years is slowly being cut. Now, it's not any particular reason why that red tape was put there. It's more like this red tape is not like really needed anymore. It might have been important 30 years ago, or whatever the case is, especially when it comes to like additional dwelling units, which are ADUs, or the amount of like parking spaces you need per thing, or maybe this zoning could be done differently. And they when they made these codes 30 years ago, they didn't really plan for a lot of condos or townhouses. So a lot of those things have been redone, especially last year. Rogers redid their stuff, Fayetteville redid their stuff, Bentonville's in the works of finishing up their next big plan. So a lot of these Springdale's good to go. So a lot of these cities have redone their zoning to kind of modernize the way people think and the way that builders build in actually the area itself. A lot of Bentonville and Fayetteville and parts of Rogers have actually implemented like people actually on staff to work with builders and even lenders to maximize like, hey, we want to make this build out go out faster. We don't want to add these excessive fees on top of stuff. We want to move things down the pipeline faster. So like for instance, Bentonville is actually bringing in almost like an architect to work all the time with developers, so they don't have to go before the board and get denied. They actually work on site on time. So stuff like that, cities are getting a lot smarter with to move things down the pipeline faster, which in theory should cut cost of housing. It's not going to reduce housing costs, but it certainly should maintain housing costs. So when builders deploy like, hey, this is going to be, a new thing, they're not having to raise prices. Now, people argue like, well, builders are going to maximize this and that and the other. The nice thing with like the free market system is that if there's another builder who says, I built this more affordably and I did this way, and I'm going to then put my apartments, townhouses, condos, houses on the market, and then people buy it out, it's going to force other developers to do the exact same thing. Unless they want to sit there for 2 to 3 years, that's on them. Cool, whatever. But the free market system will win overall, and eventually as other builders do this, then it's going to make sure the price is maintained. So long story short, red tape has definitely been cut in the area, which allows housing to move faster, allows for the ability for people to save at a lesser time to be able to afford a house, townhouse, condo, whatever they're looking for, especially in Northwest Arkansas. Whoa, I made something for you. I made something called 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're looking to take a trip down here, maybe looking to check out the whole area, checking to see if it's for you, maybe you're just checking out just vacations. I made 3-day itineraries, like literally day by day, restaurant by restaurant, thing by thing, everything when it comes to Northwest Arkansas. So basically you have a full-on plan of what to do when you roll into town. So maybe you're a adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. I have 3-day itineraries linked down below for you. So go ahead and download them and use them when you get down here. Also, you might be using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is. Literally, it's Instant Home Updates. So enter information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to in Northwest Arkansas? Enter all the information below and make sure to miss a single notification when it comes for home for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, every single Friday, I send an email out just talking about all the cool things happening in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on First Fridays? When is First Thursdays? What's going on in Fayetteville? What new buildings are coming to Springdale? What new things are going on in Rogers? When's the Saturday? There are so many things all the time. Enter your email below. I make sure you get that email every single Friday. But I need you to be aware. I need you to do a heads up. You will get a little fear of missing out, a little we'll say FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make it down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third reason why you're able to basically buy a house so fast in Arkansas and also Northwest Arkansas, and I mentioned this before, and you're gonna be like, Phillip, this exists everywhere in America, but there's certainly a couple large companies that exist in Northwest Arkansas. Obviously, they've been here forever. Walmart, JB Hunt, Tyson, a lot of more startups are coming up here. Obviously, Simmons Chickens, there's probably some mid to big size companies, but they've existed forever. The difference here is that it's at this weird timeline. Like for instance, there's a lot of other places: Minneapolis, LA, Phoenix, Chicago. There's big companies everywhere. I get that. But then again, we have some of the biggest companies in the world that exist right here. So a little bit of side note. The other side of that I want to point out is there's this unique time frame where no one really cared, if I'm being honest, about Northwest Arkansas till about 10 years ago. Crystal Bridges, the Momentary, Walton Arts Center, Dixon Street, the University, the new Walmart HQ, Tyson HQ, more cancer research, Alice Walton School of Medicine. These are putting Northwest Arkansas on the map. Eventually in about 10, 15, 20 years, Northwest Arkansas, Bentonville, Fayetteville, Rogers, Springdale are going to be the equivalent to Phoenix, Arizona, Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Louis, other parts of America that have larger, more mature companies. Now the companies are mature, but the area is not really mature if I'm being honest. It will take some time before it starts entering the common vernacular of people that are looking for areas to move to: Austin, Dallas, Houston, etc. They're not going to be that scale, don't get me wrong. Like that's not even part of the equation. But to enter the actual conversation isn't quite there yet. So once that time comes, then it's going to be the mature area where it's like, I wish I would have bought a house in downtown Bentonville back in 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, when no one really knew about it. So again, keep that in mind, is that this is a budding area, and these kind of mature but also newer companies are driving all this workforce, these high salaries, these larger kind of more, let's say, luxurious things to do in Northwest Arkansas. And with that comes with all these different things: high salaries, affordable housing, easy red tape to cut through housing, lower property taxes, low income taxes. So it kind of is like the perfect storm, if I want to say it that way, for affordable housing in the area, comparison to Austin, Phoenix, Chicago, Dallas. You get the picture. So again, if you're looking for that kind of sweet spot of like great community, great outdoor stuff, great jobs, great education, and affordable housing, you're not gonna really find in other places besides Northwest Arkansas. That's why Arkansas is one of the most affordable places to buy a house and one of the fastest places to save to also buy a house. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is, literally a starter pack full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. It comes with a 120-page guide, literally made by me, of all the things happening in Northwest Arkansas. Population, demographics, schools, all the things you want to know about Northwest Arkansas, all the cool things happening, all the things right here, 120-page guide, comes right to your home. It comes with my 3-day itineraries, it comes with postcards, it comes with stickers. It comes with this handy dandy, you just get this for obvious reasons, the NWA coloring book, the coloring book, all right? This is just a trip and a half. I think I'm in here somewhere. Hold on. Oh, there I am. Oh. You need this. You want this. I will send this to you, I promise. Anyways, you definitely want the NWA Starter Pack. So it's literally a box shipped right to your home. Right to your home. Enter your name below. Enter your address below. Make sure you get that package shipped to you right away. Box right to your home. Side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It's my favorite folder F word. Free! So enter your information below. Make sure to get the package shipped to you right away. All right, guys, see you next one.